Hello, MFSN fans. This is our basketball waiver wire show. I'm Dr. Dan Ratner, and we are excited to bring our waiver wire basketball show to you right now. I am here, as always, with Kasey, Vlad to the Bone, Shienvold. You'll never kick that baseball name. He's got a headband on, so we know he's bringing the heat today. I'm also here with Ross, the boss.
Hey, everybody, I'm Ross, the boss, and I want to talk fantasy basketball with you, cowboy.
I don't. How do you know I'm a cowboy? You say it every time. I'm starting to feel like a cowboy, actually. So we're coming along here. Now let's talk about what we're going to do tonight. Okay? We always talk about 60% rostered and below on Yahoo. We know there are other platforms, but that's kind of our baseline. Now, we talk about must-haves. We talk about strong pickups. We talk about deep league pickups. But today, we are going to add in another category. Yes. Hold on to your seats and your hat and your hair. We're going to find the biggest trade targets that are great bargains to go snag right now. You don't want to miss it. Let's dive in with the must-haves. I'm going to start with you, Ross the boss. Who do you got?
Must-haves waiver wire pickups this week. My number one right now, if I had to pick one guy that's under 60% that I feel is a great pickup, it's going to be, drum roll please, Patrick Williams, the rookie from Chicago Bulls. Patrick Williams has been playing unbelievable basketball. He's 16 points, 9 rebounds, like 3 assists a game right now. He's getting a lot of playing time. Porter is hurt indefinitely. I don't know when Otto Porter's coming back. No one knows when he's coming back. It's like a mystery. So he's not playing. So Patrick Williams is playing. This kid, every game, he's getting more confidence. It's a great pickup right now for your team just because he's a rookie. He's young. He's starving for attention. Patrick Williams is my number one guy this week.
That's an interesting play because this is about the time when rookies start to kick it into high gear if they're going to. So I think it's a great look. Now, in fairness, I didn't know Otto Porter was there. And I don't mean that as an insult to him specifically. I understand that it is an insult, but he just hasn't been playing well enough. So, guys, I have 3 must-haves, and I feel a bit ashamed about this because
I just did 1. So you're doing 3.
No, I'm not going to do 3 at once.
I have 2 that are on your team. I have 2 that are on your team also, Dan. I think that's why you're
okay. Let's go. What's your first one? That's going to hear this.
Well, I'm going to stay away from. I mean, because we've been banging the drum on Batum and Justin Holliday all year, all season. It feels like, and they're still under 60%. So I'm not sure why. So those are the 2 I have on Dan's team. But I'm going to go with. How about Jae'Sean Tate at Houston? He's been playing great the last couple weeks. Nobody knows about him. I mean, Houston's kind of flying under the radar. Christian Wood is hurt, so there's a lot of usage to go around to other players. And right now, he's scoring. He's getting steals. He's involved in a lot of plays. I think Jae'Sean Tate right now is a strong pickup.
That's a great one. Ohio State rookie. I like him a lot, too. He's getting a lot of playing time in Houston, and that guy can jump.
One thing I love about working with Ross the boss is he knows where everyone went to college. I think he even knows people where they are going to go to college. Ross, where are my daughters going to go to college? You're so good at this.
Yale and Stanford. Next question. Keep going.
I think you're probably right. Actually, we have a question coming in from Patrick O'Hara, one of our favorite listeners. Patrick is a return questioner, and we appreciate you being here, Patrick. Okay, he says, hi, 10-team, 9-category head-to-head league. Can I afford to hold all these injury-prone players simultaneously? Evan Fournier, LaMarcus Aldridge, Brandon Clark, Christian Wood, and Yusuf Nurkic, 2 IL slots. That's a lot of injuries.
Wow.
It's like the Cleveland Browns there. The injuries are just massive. So, guys, let's first start with the 2 that he should keep.
Wood for sure. Wood for sure.
I agree.
Wood is Kasey Shienvold, one of the best fantasy players I know, has Wood on his team, and he loves the guy. Christian Wood is actually, if he was not hurt, he would be an all-star this year. But Christian Wood for sure is one spot. Kasey, you give the other spot.
Oh man,
you need to hear the names again.
I think if you've held on to Nurkic this long, it'd be what has he been out the last 4 weeks, and he's got 2 weeks or 3 weeks left before he's coming back. You've already held on to him this long. I don't think now's the time you cut bait on him. The other one I would consider holding would be LaMarcus Aldridge. I just think he's one of those steady performers who is going to give you the numbers. There's nothing flashy. Evan Fournier is one who's been hurt way too much, and it seems like it's a chronic back issue. He just missed a bunch of games, came back for like 2 or 3, and now has missed 3 more. I mean, when he's in there, he's a volume shooter and scores a lot, but he turns the ball over like crazy, and he's hurt all the time.
He's also he's kind of a fringe own even when he's healthy. So I think you can get rid of Fournier. Brandon Clark also is interesting. Ross, what do you think about Brandon Clark in this list? Where does he fit?
I'm afraid to say it, but he has to leave the party. He is odd man out. I think he's a good player. I'd rather have Eldridge. I'd rather have Wood. I think those 2 guys are must stay. Clark has to leave. I'm sorry. Got to cut somebody.
So I think, Patrick, we're pretty much all in consensus that I think you should keep 3 of them. I think you should keep Wood, Nurkic, and Aldridge. Just try to limp through because
it's a 10%. It's a 10-team league, though, right? It's
10-team league. Good point.
So there's more depth.
Drop all. He'll be fine. Just drop the guys.
Drop Aldridge.
No, don't drop Aldridge. Just drop the 3 other guys you can't hold on to because you don't have enough injury space.
So you think he should drop Nurkic, not Aldridge?
Oh, that's a tough. I would keep. I guess. See, I would keep Nurkic and Wood. I guess you're right. I would drop Aldridge. You're right.
There you go. I mean, look, or you could choose to keep him.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. But let's move on. I want to hear your must keep this week. Your number 1.
Well, my number 1 is Justin Holliday. Now he may be on my team. Holiday. Time to celebrate.
So you've been saying Justin Holliday for the past few weeks now. I like him a lot, and I like him a lot. I like the systems. He's a good pickup, but I just thought maybe you would have something more sparkly coming out.
No, Justin Holliday. Justin Holliday is into the groove. I'm crazy for you, Justin Holliday. There's a lot of Madonna going on here tonight. Okay. I have Nicolas Batum. I've been beating the drum for him. He's my other must-have. My third must-have, you guys are going to disagree with because he is a category specialist.
I love this.
He's going to be a difference maker in the playoff. It's Nerlens Noel. Nerlens Noel is a block.
Plays 5 minutes a game, but that's a good one.
No, he's at least 14 minutes a game.
14 minutes a game. That's the guy you pick. He's not a must pickup. I have so many better people.
Look, to be honest,
he sits there and watches the game like I do.
But to be honest, like the Knicks offense, the way they play doesn't suit either of their big men because Mitchell Robinson's playing a lot more, but his numbers aren't all that impressive either.
I know, but 100%
agree. It's Randall, and sometimes it's RJ Barnett, but sometimes. But now
and Emmanuel Quickly.
And Quickly is a must drop now. Derrick Rose is back in town, and Derrick Rose is going to be the man. Quickly's averaging 13 minutes a game the past 2 games. He's not even playing anymore. He's on, I don't know what's going on.
Ross, Derrick Rose is a must drop before you even own him.
Oh, way. I love Derrick Rose. He's
not getting injured.
He won the MVP 4 years ago. I love Derrick Rose.
Wasn't it like
I believe it was like 14 years ago. Exactly.
Okay, close enough.
We have one more comment, and then
I have a couple more guys I want to talk about.
Yeah, well, hold your horses because we have Lucius Varenas 44, another return commenter. Thanks for joining us again, Lucius. Love the content as usual, guys. I have Al Horford and Thaddeus Young. I'm loving their output, but I keep hearing the sell high. What would you suggest? Points league, by the way. All right, keep that in mind. Points league, that's very important for a guy like Thaddeus Young who has low free throw percentage. Doesn't matter in the points league.
Nope.
How many teams?
Lucius, tell us how many teams. Okay, I'm going to get back to you on that. But first, I want to say to everybody out there, if you haven't already, click subscribe, hit like if you like what you're hearing, ring the bell for notifications, and put your comments below. We'll answer you directly. And Lucius, we're going to come back and answer your question. But first, we're going to get a word from our sponsor, Killcliff.
Oh, look, coming down the runway is Killcliff, the clean energy drink. It's in a brand new can. Oh, look how the colors pop. Boom, boom. Oh, beautiful tan, the front, the back. Gorgeous. Oh, and the flavor, it's still the same awesome taste. I want it in my mouth right now. Oh, so sexy. Go to killcliff.com. Oh, do it now.
Killcliff sounds
me up.
I know Killcliff sounds like Dita's dance party. It's very exciting.
I love when it goes down my throat. The best. Okay, Killcliff.
I put it in my drink hole. It's delicious.
I knew that was your voice.
Okay, Lucius, when you get back to us, we will get to your question.
We will get back to you. Let me give you one. Let me give you another guy that should be on your must-have. It's Jacob Poletti for the San Antonio Spurs. Jacob Poletti's getting all the time that Eldridge is, because he's gone. He's not getting points, but he's getting rebounds, and he's 2 blocks a game. Yeah, Kasey Shienvold. I said 2 blocks a game.
It's crazy.
So
16 blocks in the last 2 weeks.
This guy has been tearing it up defensively. Other categories he's been great on. I don't know when Eldridge is coming back. He's an old man, so it's going to be longer than sooner, Kasey. So that being said, Jacob Poletti is somebody I would want to pick up on my team for all the categories. He's a terrific pick. He's a terrific pickup right now, and he's available in like 72% of the league. So pick him up. He
is terrible at free throws, but he is a great pickup. I will give you that. So we have another comment from Wichita Films. Ross the Boss.
I like Wichita. Wichita Films is one of the best production companies in the country. It's one of the best.
Shout out to Wichita Films. Ross the Boss needs one more team for fantasy baseball in the West Coast Ballers League. Now, listen, I'm one of those people who is considering joining that league, but I don't want to stretch myself too thin. I feel, like I feel an obligation to Ross the Boss to come through for him.
Oh, I'm in it.
Oh, you're in it?
Kasey's in it.
Oh, I joined.
I'm going to invite somebody else then. I don't care. Don't join. Wichita Films is one of the best fantasy baseball players in the country. They're unbelievable. This guy is the best.
He's a shocker.
What he does, he's a shot. He went to Virginia Tech, this guy.
I know, but it's Wichita.
He's unbelievable.
You're throwing down, and hey, listen, baseball is my best sport, and I'm already winning basketball, which is my second best sport.
Now you're unbelievable. You're one of the best fantasy people I know. You're unbelievable. Having a great season. Let's move on. Who else do you have picking up this week? Kasey,
well, that's it for my must-haves.
Flat to the bone. Do you have anybody else, Kasey? I have one more. I hate to, must-have.
There's a reason Dan's in first place in our league, because another one that's still under 60% owned is Bobby Portis, and his numbers. He continues to be impressive day in and day out. We
talked about him last week. I like him too.
We talk about him every week, but he's another great player who's still under 60%. I have him at 53% owned.
Yeah, listen, I've also got Miles Bridges. I picked up those players. Bridges. They're good. They are good players.
There's one more must pick up. Must pick up. This guy's getting 30 minutes a game. He's playing a lot because Bradley at Miami is hurt. So Kendrick Nunn is averaging 20 points a game in the past 2 weeks, 6 assists a game, 4 rebounds a game, 3 steals a game. This guy's on fire. This guy's playing unbelievable, and the coach loves him. So he's getting 30 minutes a game. I don't know what's going to happen when Bradley comes back, but I have no idea what the timetable is. But doesn't matter. Kendrick Nunn is a must pick up for you this week. Do it.
Okay. Now, before I circle back to Lucius Varenas, because he didn't tell us, but I still want to answer his question, because that's not cool if we don't answer that question.
Well, let's just answer it.
No, well, I'm going to. But first, I want to tell people that you can join this conversation. You can go to www.callmfsn.com, and you can come in either on video or on audio. You could even come in and be totally silent. It would be really weird, but you could totally do it if you want to. Now, back to Lucius's question. He's saying he has Al Horford and Thaddeus Young. It's a points league. He's hearing to sell high. Guys, would you sell high on these two?
So I was going to say this later when we talk about players that you should try to trade for. But for Al Horford, he was away for 10 days because his wife was having a baby. He was gone. Absent. Usually players take off 1 day. This guy took off 10 days. He was gone. I was this close of cutting him. This close. So I kept him for some crazy reason. Comes back. Ever since the baby was born, 18 points a game averaging, 9 rebounds. He's getting assists. He's getting blocks. He's getting steals. Ask Kasey Shienvold. He's playing against him this week. He knows the pain he's going through. So Al Horford, to me, you keep Al right now. He's playing way out of his league. He's unbelievable. Kasey, I'll let you answer the other one, but I want to talk about Al real quick.
Look, I'm not a big fan on selling high at this point. If you have 2 players like that who are producing, Thaddeus Young for the Bulls has been doing a great job, and he's still going to be doing it. The Bulls don't have a real it's not like he's taking time away from somebody who's a superstar that's just playing poorly. I think you can wait until their hot streak ends and still sell high. I think you can let them have a couple bad games first and still get good value for them. So I wouldn't sell high on either of them, to be quite honest.
I'm in agreement with both Kasey and Ross the Boss, and I think Ross hit on a key thing. When a man has a baby, he plays really well. He just gets very excited. He's got more to live for. I think Al Horford is back. I do not think you sell high on him. I also think Thaddeus Young is the kind of player, it's actually similar to Nicolas Batum. When a player starts playing this well and it keeps up, you don't want to get rid of him. We'll call it the Jeremy Grant rule. At this point, you're seeing that this is a real breakout season. Is it going to happen again next year? That I wouldn't bet on. But for this year, I think you're good. Wichita Films tells us we should pick up anyone playing the Nets, no D. Great tip. That's like, it's like in football, you play the defense against the Jets. In basketball, you play anyone who is playing the Nets. They literally have no defense. They just have 5 players standing on the offensive end.
You know, they've been giving up 123 points a game ever since that big trade. That's unbelievable.
It reminds me of when the Padres a few years ago decided to try to run an outfield out there of Justin Upton, who was it, Will Myers, and Matt Kemp. And there's just zero defense, the biggest outfield in baseball, and they couldn't cover anything. So that experiment lasted absolutely like 3 weeks.
It was like they just had a center fielder who was just sitting cross-legged in the middle.
They were all
barely able to
chairs.
move. Now, Wichita Films has one more comment. I traded Ross Mark, aka Ross the Boss, for Dave Mann in the Vandalay Softball Fantasy League. Lost badly in home run trots and clutch hitting. Ross, does this ring true to you?
No comment. Move on.
Okay, we're going to move on. I sense something there. We'll return to that. Guys, let's move on to strong pickups. We've already mentioned some. Bobby Portis and Miles Bridges were the two on my team. But I'm going to mention this guy. I haven't mentioned him all year. And the reason I haven't mentioned him is I didn't believe in him, but I'm starting to believe in him. That is Josh Hart. Josh Hart is a guy, he's scoring. He's a double-double machine pretty much. Maybe not quite double-double, but 9 and 9. And he's also adding in some steals and blocks. He's gotten more valuable. I think he's starting to fit into his team rotation better. Who else do you guys have for strong pickups? We'll go to you, Kasey.
I'm going to go with a Phoenix Sun here. I'm going to go with Frank Kaminsky, the Wisconsin Badger, to follow Ross's always name what college they went to. He's playing he's getting 20 minutes a game right now. He's putting up points and rebounds. He can hit the three. His averages aren't terrible. His free throws are not the best, only 70% right now, but he's giving you solid numbers from a big man position, which is really hard to find right now on the waiver wire.
Frank the Tank. I like it. I do remember he actually went to Wisconsin. Sometimes I remember these things, but I didn't predict he would go to Wisconsin like Ross did 15 years ago. Ross, who else do you have on the strong pickups list?
Strong pickups. I'm going to mention a guy I haven't mentioned all season. He started the season out really, really slow, and I love this guy. I love watching him play. He's unbelievable. He's probably one of the best six-man to ever play the game. It's Lou Williams of the LA Clippers. Lou started the season horribly. I mean, he just wasn't scoring. The past 2 weeks, he's been averaging over 20 points a game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. He's doing great the past 2 weeks. For me, if I need some to spark off the bench, this is my man. Lou Williams is sweet Lou right now. And if you need a spark plug in your lineup, Lou Williams makes that number call.
Now, Ross, let me ask you this. If Lou Williams gets dealt, do you think he'll still put up those numbers, or could it even improve his value?
I think that's a great question. It matters where he goes. I think the teams that want him want a 6-man coming off the bench that can score like him. I mean, he only plays like 23, 24 minutes a game. He's not out there for 35 minutes. He'll play 23, 24 minutes, but he has no conscience. He'll shoot like Kasey Shienvold in a 3-on-3 game. This guy will do whatever he can to do the
hopefully
score.
With better percentages.
Yeah, probably. But Lou Williams, to me right now, he's on the trading block. You're 100% right, Dr. Dan. He's on the trading block with Patrick Beverley, and they want to get one of those prime point guards right now to make that playoff run. We'll see what happens with the Clippers. I feel they'll get somebody really good. I can't wait. But that being said, Lou Williams, wherever he goes, he'll provides a lot of offense, and he's dishing the ball out, which is unbelievable for him. I never thought he was an assist guy, but he's doing it this year.
Listen, I'm going to do something that is hard for some people to do. I'm going to admit that I was dead wrong about something. Ross the Boss, earlier, maybe 4 weeks ago, he said that my Cavs, should trade Andre Drummond for Ivica Zubac Lou Williams, and Patrick Beverley. And I was like, no, don't do that, because the Cavs were playing really well at the time. Now, yes, please. Yes, I'm ready for that trade. Yes. Good idea, Ross. I like it. Okay, another strong pickup that's just kind of been there for a long time is Royce O'Neal. Everyone wants to call him Ryan O'Neal. And if he was Ryan O'Neal, he would be a very, very bad pickup, because he's an old actor who's not ready to play in the NBA. But Royce O'Neal, he's a strong pickup. I'm going to bring up one other guy that I brought up. This was in the preseason when we were, I was talking about sleepers. Joe Ingles, average Joe.
Average Joe
hates this guy.
I don't. I like Joe Ingles. I like Joe Ingles. I do. I do like him. I just, with him right now, Conley is on the IR, so Conley's not playing right now for Utah. But so Ingles is getting a lot of minutes right now. I love watching that guy play. He plays so hard, but I'm worried about when Conley comes back. I don't know how much playing time Ingles will get, but no, I like Joe.
All right. Well,
he's an average Joe though. He's average.
Yeah, I know. Look, he's not going to win your league, but he's the kind of guy. Look, if you missed on Justin Holliday and Nicolas Batum, I would say Joe Ingles is that kind of guy. He's better than Danny Green is, and Danny Green's already providing a lot of value. Those are strong pickups. You don't want your whole team to be filled with them. Now, we have another question coming in from Wichita Films. Shea Alexander. Thoughts on those cousins? I'm not even sure I understand that question. Boss, can you translate for me? You know him.
Shea Alexander, I don't know. I mean, I love Shea. He's over 60%, so I can't really pick him up anywhere. But I don't know. I can't translate what he's talking about right now. Not quite sure.
Okay. Although ironically, I had another Oklahoma City Thunder guy as one of my middling ones to pick up this week.
Oh, you know what?
Let's hear it.
Let's play that game. Hold on. We're going to play this game because Kasey has actually found players on every team to pick up. So let's hear a couple of them. We're just going to run through them really quickly. Go ahead.
Right, let me
do
get
your
to my
OKC
list.
one.
So for OKC, it was Hamidou Diallo is playing 30 minutes a game for them right now. He's shooting 50%, putting up points, getting some rebounds and a moderate number of assists. He's actually a top 80 player in a 9-category league over the last couple of weeks. So he's not I wouldn't say he's one you have to run to the waiver wire to get, but he's not a bad pickup. He's only owned in 49% of leagues, according to Yahoo.
Yeah, also he has a vertical leap that is out of this world. When he came out of Kentucky, am I right, Ross?
You are.
He had I was like, this guy could be something special. And I still think he could be. He's going to have to work at it. We got an explanation, not finally. He got back to us very quickly. Wichita Films said that the cousins, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Nicky Alexander, they are the cousins he's talking about. Ross, does this make sense to you now?
No, I have no idea what he's talking about. No,
not at all.
Not at all.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Talking Spanish.
Let me
No
ask
idea
you
what
this.
he's talking about.
Let me ask
He
you
must
this.
be on drugs.
I was going to ask.
Send the drug test
mushrooms?
over there. I want to see if he's on drugs or not. I don't know what he's saying. I feel like I'm in an alter state right now. I have no idea what he's talking about.
All right, we're going to have to bring in an MFSN drug test. I think it's time.
Okay, good.
Now, if you haven't yet, as long as you're not, on mushrooms and you can see the computer, click subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, hit like if you like what you're hearing, put your comments below. We'll answer you directly. And remember, you can come right on this show. You can do www.callmfsn.com and you can come on video or on audio. Now, let's get back to Kasey's list. Ross, let's pick a team that we think Kasey can't find somebody on.
Oh, some of them were hard, so don't be shy here.
Let me think. Who?
New York Knicks.
Yeah, New York
Who
Knicks.
do I have for the New York Knicks that's under 60% owned?
I mean, everybody on the Knicks is under 60%.
I want to see what he says.
Burks.
Alec Burks.
Alec Burks is only 32% owned.
Right. Have you seen what he's been doing the past few games? I mean,
yeah, the past 2 weeks have been rough. But
he's a joke. So your list is awful. Your list, throw it away. Your list is a joke. I mean, you're just mentioning players that have roster spots. There's no reason to pick up Alec Burks. If you pick up Alec Burks, you're going to lose your league. So no, you're. There's another guy. There's another guy I want to bring up. I watched the Clippers Minnesota game last night because Karl Anthony Towns came back. It was his first game back. And I like Naz Reid, as we all know. People are like this kid. And I like him too. And I thought,
if I remember correctly, Dan and I have been beating the drum on him for weeks, and you kept saying, "Nah, he's done. He's going to be toast."
Well, the test was last night, Kasey, and I watched it. He passed the test.
All right, so you're admitting you were wrong.
He played 30 minutes.
You're admitting you were wrong.
Had 30 minutes, had over 20 points. Had a bunch of rebounds.
Sorry,
had a
Kasey,
block.
I was wrong.
So he actually passed my test. Naz Reid, if he's available in your league, pick him up now, because even with Karl Anthony Towns, don't interrupt me, Kasey. I don't interrupt you, SOB.
Just 2 words.
Right
just
at
3 words.
You're dealing with fire here.
Wrong.
You're dealing with fire. Let me speak.
That's all you need to say, and I'll stop. Come on, buddy. No. It's not that hard to admit you were wrong. Everybody
okay, now listen.
Once in a while.
Okay, listen, Ross, you may not have been wrong, but if you had listened to me and Kasey 2 weeks ago, you would have been right. Let's just phrase it that way. Is that okay?
I wanted to see what happened when Karl came back. Karl came back yesterday.
If they had listened to us.
Karl came back yesterday. Let me finish my sentence.
He was too busy eating at Karl.
And Naz Reid played 30 minutes still, even with Karl in the lineup. Karl played a lot of time last night.
So, Dan and Kasey,
so the experiment worked. So you keep Naz Reid on your team, or you pick him up.
So raise your hand if you thought we should keep Naz Reid 2 weeks ago. I'm going to get my hand up in there.
You got to get in the camera. There
we
go.
All right. Just saying.
Right,
okay. Now, Wichita Films is asking, I believe, for Kasey. Pelicans.
Okay.
He's
Pelicans.
He's a Virginia Tech alum at New Orleans, it sounds like. Or maybe he's talking about Nicky Alexander.
It's Hart. You named him in the previous part. I mean, Hart's been insane for them for almost most of the season. The past couple of weeks, he's a top 40 player in a 9-category league. So he's just been doing everything well.
I love when people say phrases like almost most of the season, because it gets us down to a percentage that's very, very precise. And I love that you have a good sense of humor.
My stuff always works some of the time.
Exactly. Now, and I just want to say, if Alec Burks is owned in 32% of leagues, that is 31% too many leagues. He should be owned in 18-team leagues. And I said so right from the start. There's nothing against you, Alec Burks, except that you suck at fantasy basketball. Okay, now, do we have any other strong pickups, or should we move on to our deep league pickups? Kasey?
I'm ready to go deep league. That's fine.
Okay, well, I'm just going to mention a couple that we haven't mentioned before, so we won't spend too much time on them.
Okay,
Jeremy Lamb, Kelly Olynyk.
Okay.
And Naz Reid was my third. So those are some other strong pickups.
Strong pickups. I think. But
we've covered them. Let's go to deep leaguers, and then we're getting to our new category, trades. Cannot wait. My first deep league guy was actually Amadou Diallo, so it's already been mentioned. But I have 4 other guys that haven't been mentioned. We'll come to that soon. Kasey, we're going to start with you. A deep league pickup.
I'll start with Alex Len, because I have to mention a Terp. I try to every week if I can. With the Washington Wizards, he's been playing really well the past couple of weeks. He's getting over 20 minutes a game, almost 20 minutes a game, putting up some decent points, some decent rebounds. He's not going to kill you in free throws, and he's scoring at a 65% clip in his shooting percentage.
I thought you were going to say in his free time. Okay. Ross, how about you? What do you think about Alex Len?
Alex Len, I like. He's a big kid. He's like 7'2" or 7'1". He's a huge guy. He can shoot the 3-pointer. I forgot what country. I forgot where he's from originally. If you said it, I would know it. But that being said, I loved him. Like the past few seasons, I love watching him play. I mean, he's a great game. It's just a matter with him. It's just minutes played. He needs to be in there. Obviously, if you can't be in there, you're not going to score. And
he's one of these guys with 2 first names, except most people don't think of Len.
Well, it's like a Len. I forgot. I wish I can remember what country he's from, but it doesn't matter.
It's Eastern Bloc, isn't it? Somewhere.
Yeah, something like that. I forgot. I used to know it. Okay, keep going.
Belarus or something like that. But listen, I agree. I think if you like players that are either going to get injured within the next 2 weeks or benched, Alex Len is your guy. I'm kidding. Well, I'm just, difference of opinion there. Okay, here's a guy, very underrated, Derek Favors. He's always going to be a guy who's going to put up decent value. So Derek Favors, you can't go wrong on. Pick him up while he's hot. You can always cut the guy if you want to, but I actually think he's going to provide good value. Him and Royce O'Neal have a good thing going together. They're not even taking each other's value. I think they're actually helping each other. Here's another old dude for you, Paul Millsap. He's not the greatest, but he's putting up some good numbers. And he's not the Paul Millsap of old, but I think He's quite good. I've got 2 more on my list, but I'm going to save them. Kasey, we're going to go to you. Wichita Films says Alex Len is from Ukraine.
Thank you
Or if
very
you're
much.
playing Risk, the Ukraine. I don't know why they called it that. All right, Kasey, you have some other deep leaguers?
I have 2 others. I have Josh Richardson for Dallas. I think he's a decent pickup. He's scoring. He's getting some points and assists. He steals a fair amount. And DeAndre Bembry from Toronto is another one who I think is a decent one. They're both playing. They're very similar. Richardson's getting more minutes. Bembry's getting about 21 a game. Richardson's over 30 minutes a game. But he's another one who gets you decent points, decent assists, and can shoot the 3 without hurting your percentages too much.
Ross, who do you have left?
So I have a couple guys one guy's on my team. I came this close of cutting him, but I decided to keep him because he's playing so well the past couple weeks. Is Doug McDermott of the Indiana Pacers. He's been averaging like 16 points a game, 7 rebounds. He's not going to win you anything with blocks or steals, but with points and rebounds and even a few assists here and there, he's a guy that in deep leagues, he's available in like 78% of the leagues. He's a great pickup right now. Another guy that I dropped during the league, who's coming back right now, he's playing unbelievable, is Dylan Brooks of Memphis. Dylan Brooks, Pac-12 player, University of Oregon. He's playing unbelievable right now. He's averaging like 20 points a game the past 2 weeks. He has rebounds. He has steals. He's doing great right now. If you need somebody that's going to do all that stuff I just mentioned, it's a good pickup in like a deeper league, like 12 team, 14 team. But Dylan Brooks is making a big comeback right now. So those 2 guys are somebody that I would want to pick up right now if I was in a deep league.
I'm gonna say one more guy that's in my deep league pickups, Sterling Brown on Houston.
Wait, the actor Sterling Brown or the basketball player? Who are you talking about right now? Tell me.
Listen,
Both
I
are
would
very
pick up. I'd pick
accomplished.
up either. I'd pick up
they're
either.
both
I mean,
Sterling Brown won an Emmy last year, so you better be picking up Sterling Brown, the actor, if I was you.
yeah. Listen, I mean, if Emmys are one of your 9 categories, you need Sterling Brown. But I mean, listen, we can also say they're probably better players to pick up even for Emmys. I mean, nothing against Sterling Brown, but the basketball player Sterling Brown is stealing the ball like crazy. I believe he has 20 steals in the last 30 days. That's a lot of steals. He's picking up them at a huge pace. So he's a deep league guy. You guys know I'm like a category specialist junkie, and here's why. Because as the season goes on, when you get to the playoffs, you just need to win 5-4. I'm playing Andrew this week. You know how I want to win? Do you think I want to win 8-1? No. I just need to win 5-4. Listen, if I could win 8-1, great, but I'm not going to against a strong team. Just win 5-4 against the strong teams. 8-1 against the terrible teams. You'll make the playoffs. And then when you get there, you'll understand that Nerlens Noel was a must-have because he could turn the whole
play.
playoffs.
He sits on the bench. What are you talking about? You have no idea what's going on. He averages like 13 points, 15 minutes a game.
I know. I'm going to trade for him, and then I'll bash you in the
No one wants
playoffs.
him. Your trades are a joke. You put trades out like all these guys you get on waiver wire, you put them in like a group trade for like a huge name. It's not going to work. Your philosophy and your mindset is a joke. You can't trade trash for good players. It doesn't work that way.
Okay, just a friendly reminder. I'm in first place. I'm in first place.
Yeah, but
You can criticize me if you want.
It's a long season. Okay, keep going.
Okay. Wichita Films has another question.
What are
the odds? What are the odds? What is it? He's so irritated. Listen, Wichita Films is on mushrooms right now. Go easy on him. You don't want to send him. You don't want to wig him out or anything.
What
are the odds?
Teaser does he have with this question?
What are the odds that Grayson Allen trips up Ross this year?
I love Grayson. Grayson Allen went to Duke, and he plays for Memphis. I love watching that kid play. He actually, when he plays, I never seen a guy like that try so hard in the NBA like he does. He's unbelievable. I agree. He would trip me up if I played against him. You're right.
Yeah, he's kind of like Matthew Dellavedova, except he's very annoying.
He reminds me of Christian Laettner. Remember how everybody hated Christian Laettner? The same thing with this guy, Grayson.
Duke has always had the hated white guy, whether it was
You're 100% right.
Whether it was Grayson Allen, whether it was Christian Laettner. Like there's always been one.
And you got the Bill Walton headband on today.
I
That's
know.
another guy that people hated when he played. He was a very dirty player, very dirty. But Bill Walton was my favorite players. I love their headband. Keep it up.
And he's also one of my favorite announcers. But Grayson Allen is a different beast. He is a Duke player that you look at him and you're just like, dude, how do you make people hate you so much? Just the look on your face. Jesus Christ, Grayson Allen. All right, we're going to move now to our new special category, trades. Now, before we even talk about the names, let's talk about how you guys found the players. When you looked at these lists, what were the factors that made you say that guy is worth trading for? Kasey, we're going to start with you. What was one of the factors that you wanted to use to figure out who to trade for?
I was looking for younger players, obviously, for some reason, because I always think a keeper strategy, even though it's a redraft league, but I was looking for players who were far outperforming what their preseason predictions were and didn't look like it was a fluke. Like it's been something that they've been consistently doing with the minutes they've had all year long. Not somebody who's had a hot 2 or 3 weeks, but somebody who has consistently outperformed their expectations.
Okay, so that was definitely one way that I looked at it. People who have outperformed their expectations. There's another group that I was looking at, which is people who have vastly underperformed expectations that I think are going to come up again. So Ross, does that fit with how you looked at this?
You guys both said it perfectly. I don't have to comment on it, but yes and yes.
Good. All right, now let's each pick one guy. Let's pick one guy who's at the top of our list, maybe an obvious one and a not so obvious one. Ross, I'm going to start with you. Who's your number one trade? Wait, I'm sorry. We just have this coming in. We have a visitor coming into MFSN.
Ooh.
So hold your thoughts on that. Hold your thoughts because, Ross,
yes,
we have Bruce Fine. Bruce Fine is here to join us.
Boston Celtic himself is here. This guy loves the Celtics. He breathes and lives Boston basketball. He still thinks the Celtics are the best team in the East, which I disagree about, but I have to hand it to him. He's a real fan. This guy, low times, high times, doesn't matter. He loves his Boston Celtics. Let's see what he has to say about the Celtics and how they're doing this year. Bruce, take it away.
The Celtics drive you crazy the last couple of years because they play how they're supposed to play 1 out of 3 games. And then they fall asleep, and then they forget that Tatum's the guy that should have the ball at the end of the game, and Marcus starts to do it. Oh, you said something about the Celtics jacket. Here it is. This is the Donnie Wahlberg.
Marcus Smart's hurt, just so you know. He hasn't played in weeks. Just to remind you, but
they give Theus the big show.
But your guy Walker's playing great. I love your rookie Pritchard. He's playing unbelievable too. I like that jacket. Yeah. Show me something that has Larry Bird on it real quick.
Oh, look at that.
That's that's the Donnie Wahlberg style. Okay, so we can go to the sports museum. You guys haven't seen the sports museum. Ross
the show real quick, and then we have to go back to the show. But I want to show off to these guys to show you what a big sports fan Bruce Fine is. It's just not.
How about Bird and Magic autographs together?
Look at that. Take that,
nice.
Shienvold. See
nice.
That?
How about that?
There was an old computer game in the 80s that was Larry Bird against Magic Johnson.
2014, I go back to the Staples Center. How about the Garnett bobblehead? I need a Ross the Boss bobblehead.
We're getting him out there. Dr. Dan's making him as we speak.
He's making him.
We need Ross the Boss.
Garnett. He's just not a good basketball player. He's a great actor. I saw that Adam Sandler movie he was in. He was unbelievable. I wanted him to win an Oscar. Don't you think so, Bruce?
How did he lose his head, Bruce?
Because anything is possible.
Look at that shrine.
I do have you got Willie Mays autograph.
He has unbelievable stuff.
Bruce
has unbelievable sports memorabilia in his house.
Thank you. But here's the problem with Tom Brady memorabilia. Here's a perfect example.
I love this.
As a gift, they gave me this just a couple of years ago. Okay, 4 times Super Bowls, 3 times Super Bowls. He's won 3. He's won 3 in the last 5 years.
So Bruce, take a marker and mark it off.
You got to start drawing. Just tape cards underneath it for each.
It's like having a
these
BCI.
Guys are doctors. They know what they're talking about.
Yeah,
it's
listen, Bruce.
But
it's like it's like if you had Hank Aaron, 3rd best home run total of all time.
I know, right? It's obsolete. Just like Hank. Well, this you guys appreciate. There's the Fine family, Fenway Park. My dad threw out the first pitch, and I took Fenway Park dirt right there, baby.
Yeah.
Right there.
Man.
It's really from his backyard, but he says it's from Fenway. I don't believe it.
Dude, it's the red clay from 3rd baseline. Come on, let's go. This is how long I've been a Boston fan. This is so sad. This was the best moments in Boston sports. This was about 2000.
Bobby Orr. Yeah.
This was like 2001, and it was before the Super Bowl. So the Patriots hadn't won the Super Bowl. The Red Sox had not won ever, and the Red Sox were pathetic. So the biggest moment was Carlton Fisk home run in Game 6. It's not even a World Series win. They lost.
No,
Bobby Orr from 1970.
Reds, and he hit that home run against Jack Billingham. Remember that very well.
And the kick in the snow was the biggest Patriots moment when this thing was made because they
should have showed the tuck.
That was after the tuck rule, right?
Yeah.
Oh, anytime you want to get beat up in LA, just bring that up.
Find Charles Woodson.
I thought New York fans were bad, but geez, the Raider fans, LA fans they're still not over the top. They're still not over the top.
No, they're very bitter. Bruce,
Charles
bitter,
Woodson
bitter,
still
very
is not
bitter,
here.
like comics.
I'm going to show you one last thing. It's not
There's
available.
one last thing, and we'll let you
All right.
go.
Not
No,
available.
one last thing.
Not available in stores. One at an auction by my brother. It's in the locker room. I think you know these two guys. They're two goats holding the championship trophies. You can see beers behind them, obviously, just chilling out, hanging out.
Okay.
Pretty appropriate. Big Papi and Tom Brady together.
Ah, how great is that,
Whoa,
Bruce?
Jesus, Bruce. That's amazing.
That's
Now
a great picture. It's like me and Kasey Shienvold holding our fancy.
It's like us
football
holding.
jersey.
Yeah. I mean,
I want to thank you for coming on, Bruce, but I also want you to come back on because this is fascinating. I could just follow you around your house, and don't worry, I'm not going to do that because that's very scary and weird.
You're invited. Anyone from the show is invited to come do a remote from here and talk about some of this memorabilia. There's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff I didn't show you from the 2004 Red Sox season, which of course it'll never be like that again. From curse to first.
No,
a lot of fun stuff here. A lot of fun stuff here. But you guys are talking about the waiver wire tonight, huh?
That's
Waiver
right.
wire,
We are
fantasy basketball. If you want to win your fantasy basketball league, you got to watch our show.
And listen,
Well,
Bruce,
my kids
I've stashed Marcus Smart for the last number of weeks. I mean, I drafted him because he's great. He steals a lot of balls. So we're gonna have you back on, Bruce, and we want to thank you for joining us. This is an awesome surprise.
Yeah.
Thanks, and it's great to see Jamie Kennedy again.
You son of a. He's talking about Kasey because Jamie used to wear headbands all the time.
I know. That's why I did this.
That's funny.
I call him Bill.
funny.
I call him Bill Walton too. Bruce.
Is tonight's show called Malibu's Most Wanted?
That's right. Wait till I start dancing.
I love it.
All right,
guys.
Bruce.
Thanks for having me.
Fine.
Talk soon.
Very funny comedian. Could see him all over the place. One of the funniest guys I ever met.
Let's go Celtics. Let's go.
All right, thank you, Bruce. Now listen. Anytime on this show that somebody starts yapping about the Celtics that much, we kick them off. I don't care who they are.
Yeah, kick them
I'm
off.
just kidding, Bruce. We're glad to have you here. Now, listen, let's get back to our trades category. And let's also remind everybody, if you haven't already, click subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, hit like if you like what you're hearing. If you don't like what you're hearing, we'll send some tests over to you to find out what's wrong. Put your comments below. We'll answer them directly. We're going to get back to our trades. Ross, give me one guy.
So my number one guy, if I had to pick up a guy, he's on my team actually. So I'm going to say him just because this guy he just started like playing. He just started games actually the past week is LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball has been averaging like over 20 points a game, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 or 3 steals a game. He's been, ever since he's been starting, he's been on fire. He's 19 years old. He's still growing. I mean, he's like 6'8", but he's still growing. I mean, this kid's going to be like 6'10". He's on fire. He looks so confident out there now. I love what they're doing with him in Charlotte. He's somebody, if I don't have him on my team, I'm targeting the guy who has him and try to get him on your team. It could be too late.
It might be, especially if Ross
too
the
late.
boss owns
Kasey
him.
Shienvold could have had him, but he waited too long and he wouldn't pull the trigger.
I'll offer you
so
Paul
now
George
he doesn't
for him on
get
the
him,
air.
Kasey. Sorry. So
Oh
my
God.
first one that I like in this category is LaMelo Ball.
Listen, I was watching a Hornets game, and LaMelo Ball grew during the game.
Yeah.
I think it's happening.
19.
His toe
know.
came right out of the front of his shoe.
No,
Okay,
but
so-
I mean, he's the tallest of the Ball brothers, and his talent is he's going to be an all-star within the next 2 years. You heard it from me first, Ross the Boss.
So he's actually one of the 3 that I have on my list as kind of the higher end guys that aren't flying that far under the radar that you should still get. But another is Pascal Siakam. This
Yeah, I
guy,
like Siakam.
he
Tell
was
me.
underperforming. If you look at his numbers recently, he's not underperforming anymore. You only have maybe a week or 2 where you can buy this guy. So
Pascal's
go ahead
great.
and get him. Casey, who else do you have as somebody to buy?
Well, I wanted to pick somebody on my team, and so I picked Tyrese Halliburton. I just think he's been incredible. People might not know because he plays out in Sacramento. It's not really a thriving fantasy basketball team in any respect, but the guy's a top 45 player in 9 category leagues so far this year. He wasn't predicted to be that good. He's a rookie, so he's flying under the radar in that respect. He's giving you points. He's giving you steals. He's giving you good assists with a low turnover ratio. He's shooting almost 50% from the field. He's doing it all. And a lot of people don't know about him.
He is ranked 25th overall in the last 30 days. I like to look at the last 14 days. That's usually my marker.
He actually, when he was drafted late in the first round. And
they talked about how he slipped.
I think he has a chip on his shoulder too. I think he's really mad where he was drafted in the draft this last year. But he went to Iowa State. He's a sniper, and I like him a lot. I mean, he's unbelievable. Talking about Sacramento, Harrison Barnes is another guy that gets no press at all. He gets doubles almost every game. He's averaging over 20 points a game. No one knows who he is because he plays in some cow town called Sacramento.
He's also battling his reputation when he was in Dallas and when he was in Golden State, where it was pretty much empty usage.
That big Dallas contract he signed and he didn't perform, 100% right. So somebody gets this no press that no one, if somebody has him on their team, they probably don't value him that high, that you should go after, is Harrison Barnes too. I like him a lot.
Okay, guys, there are more trade guys that we want to have, but we're actually at the time where we need to take our last question. And I just wanted to make a couple comments. We're not going to be able to answer them all, but Ross, at some point, you're going to need to get back to Wichita Films about whether Trevor Bauer, being a Dodger now, does that make him a traitor? He also points out that Duke has a losing record right now. But yes. Patrick Donovan, I'm going to take his question. Oh, he also mentioned Smart went down last week. Yep. Patrick Donovan asks, how do you feel about the players opposing the All-Star game? Well, let's finish up on this. Kasey, you tell me what you think about that, and then we'll get to more trades, maybe in the comments or certainly next time.
So the players opposing the All-Star game?
Yeah, how do you feel about it?
I'm not a big fan of the All-Star games. I don't have strong feelings about it, really.
I have strong feelings.
All right,
let me
go
answer
ahead.
it.
Go ahead, Ross.
Let me answer it. These players get paid millions of dollars a year, and they do it for the fans. This All-Star game's for the fans. They're going to do the dunk contest at halftime. This whole weekend, it's not even a weekend, it's one day of events, is for the fans. It's not for the players. So God forbid if LeBron has to play a scrimmage game against all his buddies in Atlanta and take his private plane to Atlanta so the average fan can watch. God forbid, LeBron. I think it makes me sick. These guys should be honored to play in that game. And for me, I don't know why they're complaining. Why they have to, whoa, now all of a sudden they're like worried about COVID, but they can be at strip clubs at all these different cities they're at. That's okay. But God forbid they have to take a private plane and play in kind of in a bubble in Atlanta because they'll test everybody. Everybody's going to be fine. It's a game for the fans. The ratings in the NBA are so low. This can actually help the NBA. So help Commissioner Silver out. Play in this game. Don't sit down and not play. I mean, the NBA actually even said they're not going to fine the players now if they don't want to play. If you don't play, you're out of my mind. I'm not going to want you on my team or any other team I ever be fantasy manager for.
You heard it here first. Thank you, Ross the Boss. Now, I will say there's probably no way that Ross will ever be able to go to sleep after that. We got him all wound up. We'll calm you down later, Ross.
Doesn't take much.
Guys, great job. And I wanted to talk more trades. We're going to get that in more next time because as the weeks go, we know that we've seen a lot of these players. We've talked about them. And so we might run through them again just to remind people, but we're going to get more and more into trades. Great job tonight, guys. If you haven't already, click subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, hit like if you like what you're hearing, and put your comments below. We will answer you directly. Thank you for watching. We'll be back here the same time next week, and on and on and on.
Oh, yeah. From Kill Cliff, the #1 clean energy drink in the mind of Joe Rogan, comes the Flamin' Joe. Sugar-free, B vitamins, electrolytes, all them good drink things. An epic spicy pineapple fusion from out of this world, straight into your drink hole. Own it. KillCliff.com.